Always be open to love. Hello, welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me to you. And today's day 38, I believe. And today's lesson, as I've stated before, is to always be open to love. Now, when I say always be open to love, this can look differently in many forms. It doesn't necessarily always mean like from a relationship or from like a lover's point of view, but it can be like love from your family, love from your friends, and love from different natures. But I will say that I today will be speaking about love specifically in the context of a relationship. Um, as I've stated before on the channel repeatedly, recently went through a breakup about 3 months ago. And you know, it's a person I was with for a long time. I'm not really gonna go into the logistics of it because you can go back and watch the past videos. I would encourage you to. They are very good lessons, guys. But I'm just gonna give you like the spark notes. We broke up. We're still cool. We know we're okay. Blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. And you know, I kind of told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill out for a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna put myself in the space to get into another relationship. I'm not gonna put myself in the space to, you know, be interested in that sort of things for the next at least 3 years. Because what I really want to do is I want to grind when I go back to school, and I want to grind on content creation, whether it's through TikTok or YouTube. But I had a conversation with my dad, and he was like, you know, like focus on those things, and grind through those things, but also don't shut yourself off from the possibility of finding love again. And at the time when he told me that, I was like, I feel like you're not listening to me. Like, I told you that I don't want another relationship. I don't want the idea of, you know, being with another person right now, because I just want to focus on these things. This is what I want to focus on. That's all I want to focus on. Just furthering myself through my career and my dream. That's all I care about. But I don't know. He told me that about like we're in April, a month and a half ago, and I don't know. I guess looking back at it now, considering that I've been on these few dates that I've been on with this one girl, that I'm really fucking with her. Like, she's cool. You know, she's really cool. I could see myself like actually, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, you know, I get what he was saying. You know, just because you went through what was probably a traumatic breakup, I wouldn't say it was traumatic for me, because I felt like I already dealt with those emotions the first time we broke up. So this time around, it was more so of a, it sucks. Like, I really wanted to be with this person. I wanted to marry this person. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Keep it pushing, like deal with the emotions and get over it. And now I can confidently say that I'm over it. Why can I confidently say that I'm over it? I literally saw her yesterday, and yesterday I went to go pick up the last of my shit from her because she came back to town. She gave them to me, and I was like, okay, cool. All right, keep it pushing. And yeah, so that happened, and I didn't have any feelings towards wanting to try to, you know, be like, oh, like I really want her. I really want to, you know, try to see if I can get her back and things of that nature. It's like, no, it's like, you know, it sucks what happens between us. But I wish you nothing but the best and things like that. And I'm just like, you know, I can't let the fact that breakup happened, which again, it was the first woman I ever loved. That breakup happened, hold me back from finding somebody else who's more compatible with me, right? Finding somebody else who understands me more, gets me more, is more attentive, and just meshes better with my personality than the person I was with before. I feel like one of our things as humans is we like the not complacency, but I mean, we do like complacency, but we do like being comfortable, right? We like being comfortable, and usually in that comfort, we try to stay there. We try to not, the idea of not needing to explore or find other things that may be better for us, maybe something that we liked more, right? And I can speak to this because I was comfortable in that relationship. I'm one of those people where I'm just like, you know, I want to make it work. I want to make it work type of guy. Like, I'm not a guy who quits on a relationship, especially when I love somebody. Like, once I don't care, I truly don't care, and that's it. That's the end of the relationship, and we're over. But you know, for the most part, I'm gonna try, right? But now, whenever I do accept that it's over, I'm like, it's over, man. You gotta keep moving on with yourself, keep doing what you gotta keep doing, and also open your heart to finding better for yourself. Because once you do find better for yourself, it's great. You know, I can't really speak concrete because it is the early stages of us just dating. I don't really know. You know, it's kind of weird to even say it sometimes, but it's the idea that if I was so closed off to the option or the idea of finding somebody else that was better for me, right? It was, I don't know. I would be okay. I would be okay because I was okay before I started talking to this person. I was okay before that. I was okay with where I was and who I was and what I am as a person, because I feel like you need to be okay to be open to love, being loving and being loved by another person. Again, I'm not saying that's where that is. It's still the early fucking parts, but it's just I want to take this feeling that I'm feeling right now in the sense of being open and being excited to the prospect of being with somebody else that, you know, meshes well with you seemingly, and kind of explain that to you guys, because you just need to open your heart to love in all forms. I know I'm speaking from the perspective of a relationship, but always be open to the idea of love, because that's what we're put here to do. We're put here to love. We're not put here to make money and be capitalistic and harvest resources. No, the most basic human thing, other than eating and drinking water, is the idea that you want to belong somewhere. And that idea of needing or wanting to belong somewhere stems from the idea that you want to be accepted and loved for who you are. You know, now I'm not going to say to you that everybody's going to love you for who you are, because that's not how it works. We're all different people. But a rule that I always love to go by is the 80-20 rule. Find 80% of what you want in another person, and then that other 20%, you just make it up by just, you know, either you tough it out or you just like, yeah, that 80% that you got, it's cool. That other 20%, I can make it work. I can make it work. Nothing is ever truly 100% in life, right? And I'm going to say this, before you ever do open up yourself to love, ensure that you love yourself the most, because that's how you truly open up yourself to love. You don't open and just love. You don't open up yourself to disrespect, to somebody taking advantage of you and just looking down on you, right? That's how you run away from falling into these, I hate using this term, but these karmic ties where, sure, you and this person, you know, you've been together a long time, or maybe this person, you know, you guys are meshing well, really together, but somewhere along down the line, you start realizing that it's a little bit of maybe physically, mentally, or emotionally abusive, and you're like, wow, but I got out of this relationship, and then I got with this other person, and then instead of getting over the person that you were in the relationship before, you're pushing this love on the other person. You're pushing the love on the other person because you're transferring that feeling onto the other person. One of the reasons why I can tell you that I'm okay with dating another person is because I don't feel the same type of intense emotion that I did towards the woman that I was with before. And that's good. I was with that woman for 3 years. I would hope this woman that I've been speaking to for 3 weeks, I don't feel this intense, crazy emotion for her. Right? Like, my brain isn't replacing her, basically. My brain isn't replacing the person that I was with this person that I'm talking to right now. That's when being open to love is such a bad thing, because you're not truly open to love. You're open to the idea of needing to be in a relationship. You need to be in a relationship. There's a difference between needing to be in a relationship and there's a difference between needing to be in a relationship and being open to love. And I think a lot of us confuse those two things, right? So, yeah, man, you know, love is a beautiful thing. And I truly believe that all humans should experience it. Whether, you know, I've heard stories about people, whether they're getting out of a relationship and then a few months later they meet their soulmate. And it's just the idea that if you're stuck feeling bad for yourself, or if you're stuck hung up on this person, which nobody deserves, nobody at all, unless you're a piece of shit and you did some shit to them, then leave them the fuck alone. But nobody deserves to be hung up on another person. Nobody deserves to be hung up on another person. Let that person go. If you truly love somebody, you let them go and let them be who they want to be and be happy with how they think they're going to be happy. So, yeah, that's today's lesson. And as always, I really hope this one gave you some kind of value. I felt like I was a little bit sporadic with this lesson because it's pretty raw and new to me, the topic. Yeah, I had it written down for a few weeks, but I never really knew how to address it. But yeah, as always, with all that you do, put God first. Love yourself before you love anybody else, and always always remember that there is somebody that loves you. And if not, I love you, but there is somebody out there that loves you. I will see you guys tomorrow.